This is Dunstan, and today I want to talk to you about productivity. Specifically, I want to talk to you about procrastination. Now, I've been doing some research into what procrastination actually is for myself, and I found some interesting things, and I'm going to share those with you. So, first up, I got a question for you, and my question is, what is the opposite of procrastination? You're probably familiar with this idea of procrastination, right? But what actually is the opposite of procrastination? And I think for most people, the opposite of procrastination is getting stuff done. So over here we got procrastination, over here we got getting stuff done. And we live in a world where this one's bad and this one's good, right? So you might identify the person who's getting loads of stuff done is productive. The person who's sitting on their ass and doing nothing is procrastinating. Maybe they're a lazy person. Maybe you yourself experience feeling lazy in that space and feeling good and feeling like you're getting stuff done in this other space over here. Now, what I've been looking into is actually something totally different to all of that. Because I know in my life I can swing back and forth between those two different states. So sometimes I can get a whole rush of energy and do a whole load of stuff, and then at other times I can feel like I'm a bit stuck. But this model here makes perfect sense if our job is to be productive and produce little units of work and to be like a cog in a machine. So, if your job was being a farmer or helping on a farm and planting wheat in the field and going out and harvesting, then that's probably a pretty good model to use. If your job is making wooden furniture or something like that, again, it's a pretty useful model to use. So I think what's happening is we're applying this model to blanket to absolutely everything in life. Now, I think we're so conditioned to think it's our job to be productive. It's actually really hard to stop and get clear on what's actually really important. Here's a little experiment you can try. Look at what you did in the last 24 hours. Just pull out your diary and look at what you did in the last 24 hours. Now, whether you were busy or procrastinating or whatever, but look at what actions did you do in the last 24 hours that really made a difference, that really added to something that you feel passionate about and made a massive quantum difference. Now, of course, sometimes there'll be little things, little steps that you have to take to build up to something big, but how many of those actions, say you slept for 8 hours, so you've got 16 hours of time, split that into 15-minute chunks, so 16 times 4 is 64 chunks of productivity. And I put it to you that there's probably going to be a lot of that time where you were busy but doing stuff, but did it really make a massive, powerful, transformative difference? And I put it to you that if you shift away from that model of productivity to looking at a model of creativity where your job is to tune into your most potent, your most powerful self and to really connect with that and then take action based on that, that you'll start to see that it's actually quite a different kind of scenario. So when were the times in your life when you really did something that really made a difference to yourself, to other people, to the world? Because isn't that the point of life, is to do stuff that really, really makes a difference? I mean, would you do, if it wasn't for the fact that you needed to get paid, would you do exactly what you did in those last 24 hours, were it not for the fact that you needed to get paid? Because if money's coming into it, then in some ways you're a slave. Are you doing stuff because you need money, or are you doing stuff because it's really what is in your being that you have to do? And I'm interested to flip some of these things upside down. Oftentimes I speak to people and I make suggestions, and they say, "Oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time." And for me, that's not true. Everyone has time, and it's actually being too busy is absolute laziness, because it means that you're not willing to make choices on what you really want to do. Yeah, and if this is causing offence, then that's really not my intention. But if you have a reaction to this, it might be worth having a look at what's going on, right? So, with the greatest respect, if you are busy, it's lazy, because you're not going to the trouble to really get clear on what is super important and valuable to you and other people and the world and your purpose of being here. So it takes courage. It takes you to say, actually, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like, how many other people have dibs on your time? How many people, do you really have freedom in your own time? Because if not, I'm going to say it again, you're a slave. If you, in your mind, believe that you have to be doing a certain thing, whether it's working in an office or whether it's working for yourself or doing something else, if you believe you have to be there from 9 to 5 and you're uncomfortable if you're not doing that, then you're not free. So, what if procrastination was really, really, really hard work? Because we think if you're doing nothing, you must be lazy. But there's always stuff going on the inside level. So, if you're being super busy, maybe you're avoiding the thing that it is inside you that really needs to be done, that really wants to come out. And if you're procrastinating, maybe it's really hard work, because maybe there's something inside you that wants to be done. I'm not talking about getting busy and running around and kicking up dust and spinning the wheels. I'm talking about real action. I'm talking about you giving your gifts to the world. I'm talking about you making a difference. And it's not for me to say what that is. It's for you to tune into what that means for you. And inside you, you know when you're spinning the wheels and running around kicking up dust. And you know when you've got something inside you that aches and wants to come out and wants to be seen. And and our fears get in the way and the brakes come on. But maybe you're not procrastinating. Maybe you're waiting for the right time for something to come out of you that's really worthwhile and valuable. When we're in this model of you have to be productive every day, it's kind of like, yep, there's another unit of work done. There's another unit of work done. There's another unit of work done. But in that, there is no space for the magic. There is no space for your real gifts to come out. Sometimes these things require time for you to go inside, time for you to reflect, time for you to really reconnect inside your body and feel what's going on inside you. Time for you to really connect in with a place inside you where you're powerful and where you know what it is that you're here to do. Where you've got that certainty, and when you come out of that and the brakes come off and your love goes out into the world. And so this is work in progress. This is a daily practice. So what if instead of having in your day, what if instead of having 64 units of productivity through the day, what if you picked one big thing that you were going to do each day? And what if that was your daily practice, to do something every day? And what if sometimes that big thing was actually just to do nothing? That requires courage, my friend. And I'm just wondering if you would be willing to imagine a world where no one ever said to you, I'm too busy. What if you lived in a world where people had time and space and energy? And what if you could make a suggestion to someone and they could tune into it and they could go, wow, that sounds interesting. I wonder. And then they could say, you know what, yes, I'd like to do that. I'd like to try that. It sounds interesting. Or they could say, hey, you know what? I'm really focused on this big thing that I'm going to do today. So let me do that first and get back to you. Or let me do that first and then, but you know, actually, what you're offering to me doesn't really sound like it's in alignment for me. But thanks for asking. So if you want to take on a little challenge, get rid of the I'm too busy story from your life. Don't be too busy. That's a choice. Instead of being too busy, choose to make decisions about how you use your time. So you could say, hey, I'd love to do that, but I've made this promise to do this. It's more honest to say that. It's more honest to actually say, you know, I'm choosing to use my time like this. And if that's 100% in alignment for you, then great. And if your time is not your own, and if you want to have more freedom in your time, then talk to me. Drop me a line. I can help you with this stuff, right? I can help you to find the confidence to reclaim your own time. It starts with being really honest. So I have got some strategy sessions on offer. If you wanna hit me up and talk to me about this stuff, talk to me about it. But if not, that's fine too. But don't make excuses. Be real. Be authentic. If you don't have time, that's bullshit. Yeah, you have time. Everyone has 168 hours of time. Whether you're Richard Branson or whether you're the Dalai Lama or whoever you are, you have the same amount of time as everyone else. Some people just claim more freedom in their time than others. So I'm going to go and get on with some other things that are really important to me. And I hope you found that useful. And I love to hear your comments. This is Dunstan.